Go back in your mind to the last time you stood in a grocery store aisle. You picked up a basic item, something you've bought 100 times before, and you noticed the price tag. You paused, calculated the math in your head, and felt a subtle, cold knot tighten in your stomach. It's not just your imagination, and you are not alone. You go to work, you put in the hours, you collect your paycheck. But when you sit down to pay for the roof over your head and the food on your table, the balance is completely gone. The rent goes up 15%, the groceries go up 30%, but your wage stays exactly the same. You are working harder today, putting in more stress, more sweat, and more anxiety just to secure less than what your parents had by doing half the effort. This is the silent extinction of the middle class. The architects of the modern system realized long ago that they don't need to lock you in a physical cage to control you. They just have to make your basic survival so expensive that your entire life becomes a desperate, endless race against the next bill. If you cannot afford to eat and you cannot afford to sleep, you cannot afford to rebel. Your energy is completely drained by the simple act of staying alive. Stay. Let's look at the cold, unyielding mathematics of this trap. For decades, the global economy operated on a simple, unspoken social contract. Work hard, provide value to society, play by the rules, and your standard of living will rise. Today, that contract has been completely shredded and thrown away. We live in an era of engineered, asymmetric inflation. Notice how the prices of things you want, like massive televisions, digital gadgets, and cheap plastic goods, have steadily gone down. But the prices of things you absolutely need, housing, whole food, clean energy, and healthcare, have skyrocketed completely out of reach. This is not a temporary failure of the free market. This is a deliberate economic design. When your salary is mathematically outpaced by the cost of food and shelter, your survival window shrinks to zero. You are forced into a permanent psychological state of high-alert panic. Your brain cannot think about long-term investing. It cannot think about starting a sovereign business. It cannot think about building generational wealth, because all of your mental processing power is completely consumed by one single suffocating question: how do I survive next month? To keep the population from looking up and rioting on the streets, the system created a brilliant psychological distraction. They flooded the world with the illusion of abundance. The Matrix tells you that you are wealthy because of convenience. You might not be able to afford a down payment on a modest traditional house, but you can easily finance the latest premium smartphone. You might be struggling to buy high-quality, organic groceries for your family, but you can order cheap, processed fast food delivered to your door in 20 minutes. They substituted true economic security with cheap, immediate dopamine. The modern citizen looks rich on social media, but is entirely bankrupt on the balance sheet. We have become a fragile society of wealthy-looking slaves, driving leased cars back to small apartments we will never own. Your grandparents bought homes, raised families, and retired comfortably on a single blue-collar income. Today, a dual-income, college-educated couple is permanently priced out of the property market. The middle-class lifestyle is no longer a sustainable reality. It has been turned into a premium subscription model that you can no longer afford to renew. Let's pull back the curtain on the housing market and expose the predators. Why is your rent outpacing your wage every single year? Because a quiet, massive, and hostile consolidation of property is taking place on a global scale. Mega corporations and institutional Wall Street investment funds are buying up single-family homes by the tens of thousands. They don't buy them to live in them. They buy them to turn the fundamental human need for shelter into a permanent, high-yielding asset class for the global elite. When a multi-billion-dollar corporation owns your neighborhood, they control the local rent supply. And when they control your rent, they control your entire life. They know you will pay whatever price they demand, because the alternative is complete homelessness. Your landlord is no longer a human being you can talk to. It is an unfeeling algorithm designed to maximize corporate profit at the exact expense of your mental sanity. You are spending 40, 50, sometimes 60% of your daily labor just to pay the mortgage of a billionaire corporation. The extraction of your wealth doesn't stop at your front door. It enters your kitchen. Look at what has happened to the global food supply. The cost of real, whole, nutrient-dense nourishment has become a luxury asset reserved only for the ultra-rich. To save a few dollars, the masses are systematically forced to buy highly processed, industrial food products filled with chemical fillers, seed oils, and artificial sugars. The system feeds you poison, which directly makes you sick, which forces you into the pharmaceutical medical system, which gladly drains the last remaining dollars from your pocket. It is a perfectly closed-loop system of total human extraction. They underpay you for your precious time, overcharge you for your basic shelter, poison you with your cheap food, and profit directly from your chronic illness. When groceries outpace wages, it is not just an economic crisis, it is a direct attack on human biology. A poorly nourished, exhausted population is a compliant population. When your body is constantly dealing with low-grade inflammation and metabolic stress, your willpower is completely destroyed. You simply lack the physical energy to fight back. The mainstream media and corporate politicians love to tell you that the solution is simple. They tell you to just get a better job, to work longer hours, to upgrade your skills, to climb the corporate ladder. But let's look at the grim reality of the current labor market. Companies are posting thousands of ghost jobs, vagus phantasma, that do not actually exist, just to project artificial growth to their shareholders and look strong. When you spend hours applying, you are met with cold, automated rejections from artificial intelligence algorithms. The very few jobs that are actually hiring are offering wages that are frozen in the past, while the actual cost of living is accelerating wildly into the future. The corporate world is engaging in a silent, coordinated war of wage suppression. They want you desperate. They need you desperate. Because a desperate worker doesn't ask for a raise. A desperate worker doesn't demand better conditions or respect. A desperate worker takes whatever crumbs he is given and says, "Thank you." If the modern system is mathematically designed to squeeze you to economic death, how do you survive? The Primal Capital methodology demands a brutal, immediate, and tactical retreat from consumer society. Step 1. Extreme financial insulation. If your wage is being outpaced by survival costs, you must drastically and aggressively drop your baseline. You must eliminate every single drop of unnecessary luxury immediately, without hesitation. Cut the modern subscriptions, kill the status spending, and reduce your life to an unshakable fortress of pure utility. Every single dollar saved from the corporate grip is a unit of life energy kept inside your own reservoir. Step 2. Sovereign skill acquisition. Stop relying on corporate job boards or traditional degrees to save your future. They won't save you. You must build independent, high-income skills that completely bypass the traditional gatekeepers. Learn digital leverage, global asset management, or direct-to-consumer value creation. If you sell your labor locally, you are bound by local inflation. If you sell your value globally to the entire world, you break the chain forever. The traditional middle class is dead, and it is never coming back. The governments will not save you, the central banks will not save you, and your company will never care about you. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as it was intended, to transfer the real value of your lifetime labor to the very top of the pyramid. Stop waiting for the world to become fair. It won't. The only way out of the invisible trap is to completely stop playing by their rigged rules. Disconnect your mind from their social expectations. Stop trying to fit into a luxury lifestyle that was designed from day one to bankrupt you, and start investing every single ounce of your daily energy into your own absolute autonomy. If you are ready to face the cold, hard truth of the economy and build an unshakable financial fortress, subscribe to Primal Capital. The extinction of the old world is silent, but our awakening will be deafening. I will see you at the next level.